And of course, this is still the conversation. Let's begin in Nigeria, where Governor Hope Uzodimma of Imo State has accused the Labour leader of not differentiating between Labour issues and his interest in local politics in the state. Recall that recently, the NLC President Joe Ajaero, who led other members of the Central Working Committee of the association to a protest in Imo State over the alleged unfriendly treatment of workers in the state, was arrested by security forces and later released. However, Governor Hope Uzodimma debunked the allegation that he was owing salaries for 40 months, insisting that his administration is up to date on salary payments in the state. And of course, joining me on the show right now to make sense out of all of this is Ufeli, a legal practitioner joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time, Evans.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening. Now, let's, of course, hit the ball running right now. The NLC was led a statewide protest in Owerri, just recently. What it described as, the motive for the protest is lack of respect for workers, unpaid salaries and pensions, amongst others. Now, how do you react, first and foremost, to this particular development?
Well, my reaction to the development is that protest under a democratic setting is valid under the law. That it is the right of citizens to assemble when they have grievances, and those assemblages are guaranteed by the 1999 Constitution as amended under Chapter 4, the fundamental rights of the citizens. So grievances will call for strike action, protests, peaceful demonstration, and all that is guaranteed by law. What is not guaranteed by law is violence. Okay. In the case under reference, Joe Ajaero, who is the leader of the NLC, had joined his colleagues in solidarity to the unfortunate incident of a lack of respect for workers, unpaid salaries and pensions and the rest of that. Is a valid case of welfare of the citizens. The security and welfare of the people shall be the primary goals of government. That is what the Constitution says in Section 14.2. And Joe Ajaero has not broken any law to have a leader at the center that have decided to join his colleagues at the region, in Imo State specific, in solidarity to protest peacefully. Now, he was arrested, beaten, and taken to unknown destination before he found himself in the hospital. Now, this issue, the governor has just made a statement. Okay, first of all, the state government came out and insulated itself from whatever must have happened to Joe Ajaero. The first statement they made was that they have no hand in it. They cannot account for whatever has happened to him, even though what happened to him under the chief security officer of that state. Today, the governor of that state is making statements that points to the fact that
before we even get to what the governor of Imo State actually said, talking about accusing the NLC president of politicizing the entire process. One of the reasons, on the show, we spoke to the commissioner, for information in Imo State, and he said that there was actually a standing court injunction preventing such protest from happening. So how is that? Given the fact that you said that it's a fundamental human right for people to, of course, when they are aggrieved under democracy, to protest, are there boundaries to these things?
Well, there are no boundaries. The only boundaries are that where there's a likelihood that an offense has been committed or is about to be committed or will be committed, the police have a right under the law to intercept whoever is involved and ensure that there's no outbreak of violence or uprising that will lead to a breakdown of law and order. Reasonable suspicion, okay, under the law, the police can intervene, okay? But in the case under reference, there was no time that the workers, were violent or had threatened violence or were found in violent activities. No, or orchestrating sin. Nothing like that. Okay. So what happened is that because it is a process and the state was threatened, and possibly that was why this was orchestrated. You see, because we are laying very wrong precedents coming from the NSAS protests, where peaceful protesters were, indiscriminately assaulted, okay, by the men of the Nigerian army and the police force. What happened in Imo State today is a follow-up of that illegality. That illegality. There cannot be a court order preventing people from expressing their right as guaranteed under the Constitution.
I'm sorry, I want to take you on that. You said there cannot be a court order. So are you saying
Yes.
that the judiciary cannot, at any point, say, you know what, there is an injunction preventing you guys from going for protest, irrespective of whatever your grievances are?
There is no order whatsoever that was given by any court, to my knowledge, because I'll follow this issue graphically. And I spoke to two lawyers.
So does that mean the state government could have been, so where did they get their order from?
They couldn't have procured an injunction to violate the rights of the citizens. Okay, they couldn't have done that. If they have, I challenge them, if they have such injunction, let them present such injunction before the Nigerian public. And we will take that up. We will take that up before the disciplinary committee or the NJC. We'll take that up if there is any. But I tell you, there is none. So they cannot, they are saying that, look at what the governor is saying, that it's political, that the protest is political. Okay, that is not what should come out from the mouth of the governor. If the governor had paid salaries and paid pensions and had not disrespected workers, the workers will not be on the street. Imo State is not the only state in Nigeria. Okay. If the workers are treated fairly.
I'm sorry, Evans. I might just need to poke you in on that one. We'll get to what the governor said concerning the old protest and, of course, accusing the NLC president of political undertone when it comes to protest. But the governor categorically and his cabinet insisted that they are not owing Imo State civil servants, and even challenged any of them that if you're being owed, come out publicly and say so. And of course, the only outstanding he sort of made reference to was the 2001 agreement, which of course is still in the works. But he categorically said that they are not owing anybody, and for that reason, the state insisted that there was no basis for the protest. What's your take?
That is appropriating and reprobating. He just said that the state is not owing anyone. Okay, and that's a blanket statement. The state is not owing anyone. And then went further to say the only thing that is at stake is an agreement, 2004 agreement. Okay, if the workers, if that is the basis upon which the workers have decided to protest by their right as guaranteed by the Constitution, it is sufficient that they be allowed to do so. Okay, the workers are not just talking about payment of owing salaries. They are talking about the protest is also about disrespect to workers, and then lack of payment to pensioners. Why didn't the governor, step into the issue of the disregard or disrespect also, and that of the pensioners?
What constitutes disrespect to workers?
Well, what constitutes disrespect to workers can, in the case on that reference, can be orchestrated from the workers themselves who have alleged things. Okay, I believe that they have records of disrespect or whatever it is they found that is untoward against them, emanating from the executive. They cannot just wake up one morning and say, you know what, let's organize a protest, unless let's just say the reason for the protest is that we are being disrespected. I mean, these are adults. Okay, if there were no disrespect, if there were no action, there were no reaction. If there were no disrespect, they will not come and say there was disrespect. Okay, how far has the governor gone in mobilizing the workers effectively to do the job that they are employed to do, the executive in that state? So these are issues.
All right.
And if they are coming out to say that they are not satisfied with the way they are being treated, I believe that you should allow the protest to go on, because when the protests go on, they will come before the same governor to submit their grievances and make recommendations. It will not be an avenue for the governor to sit out with the workers, with the NLC and all that, and discuss the issue together. It is better and neater that way than to, than for the police to step into the
do what it
conflict.
Did. Okay, I mean, right now, let's of course go to one issue that you really have been wanting to, of course, talk about, and that is the governor, that's Governor Uzodimma, accusing the Labour leader of not differentiating between Labour issues and his interest in politics or the local politics of the state. Now, I'm not saying this is in any way related, but there was a particular interview, I mean, just recently where the Labour leader actually said the group or the association, there's a political party that is an offshoot of that particular association. It's sort of linked, particularly the Labour Party, said it linked the Labour Party with the association. So, I mean, if you put, I'm not saying they are related, but if you put one and two together, would you want to say to some extent, maybe, just maybe, and we know that it's a political season in Imo State, just maybe, the governor might have some sort of weight in this particular accusation?
I don't think the governor have any weight in this particular accusation, because if you say because there's a Labour Party in the state, therefore the protest is meant to either disrupt or promote a political party, you are getting it wrong. The NLC is not a political party, even though you have Labour Party. I am not also unaware that members of Labour Union gravitate towards the Labour Party. But that in itself is an issue, a question of individual choices. Okay, so it cannot be interpreted, even if, assuming but not considering that the Labour Party or the NLC is promoting the Labour Party in Imo State, what they did, what the police did, is that a solution to the problem? Is that a solution to descend to the arena of conflict, to inflict injuries and bodily harm on a citizen, forgetting the precedent you are creating? There was a time in this country where Adegboye was the NLC leader in this country, under Obasanjo. On several occasions, he shut the economy down. On several occasions, it was even as a result of their activism that we have the 30,000 minimum wage today, which we're still fighting to increase. Okay, it's as a result of that. There was no time Adegboye was arrested or beaten or taken to a unknown destination. But what we're having today is a semblance of a kind of evil that if we do not investigate this matter properly, who gave that order? Somebody made that order. Where's the CP of that state? The IGP, this is the first acid test that we must address, the new IGP, to ensure that they set up an investigative committee to unravel the policemen who carried out this act, and they should all be tried. There should be only room trial for them, because this is complete violation of the rights of the people have a right to protest. Whether there's a political party called Labour or not in the state does not erase the people's rights under the Constitution.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Evans Ufeli, legal practitioner from Lagos State. Once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.